Hey guys, have you ever noticed that there's a lot of YouTube channels that are run by twins? Usually they're prank channels, but I'm sure there's some different ones sprinkled in here and there. I can't be the only one that thinks that's a little bit suspicious. Why are there so many twins? Is it some kind of super secret twin plan to control the platform? Nah, no way. There can't be. And even if there is, they're facing a pretty big setback right now, as today we're going to be talking about one pair of twins who just might be looking at some serious time in the big house. I'm of course talking about the boys, the Stokes Twins, the next brave YouTubers to step up into the trend of doing something real dumb, posting it on the internet, and later being charged for it. First Jake Paul, now them. Of course, if you're like me, then this is probably the first time you've ever heard of the Stokes Twins. Seriously, when I read an article about YouTube twins getting charged, I immediately thought it was the Dolan twins. But no, wrong twins. Lucky for me though, because I got the privilege, the absolute privilege, of going through the Stokes Twins channel to see who they are. And man, if it ain't just the most generic content I have ever seen pushed out onto the platform. We're talking groundbreaking videos like the cutest animals on TikTok, extreme bite, lick, or nothing challenge, which I mean sounds really entertaining. You get to watch somebody do nothing. But I think my favorite of their back catalog is the twin versus twin telepathy test, in which they got another group of twins to film with, reinforcing my idea that there's some kind of secret twin society overtaking this website. Seriously though, despite how generic their content is, they've still racked up a whopping 4.8 million subscribers. But all of that might go away soon, as the brothers are facing some serious legal troubles. We're talking big trouble. And how did it start? Well, like every other good YouTube video, it started with a prank. What kind of prank? Oh, just a bank robber prank, you know. I mean, what could possibly happen if they dress up like bank robbers and run around scaring people? Nothing bad, right? No. Now, at this point, they've removed the original video for pretty much obvious reasons, but I did get a chance to take a glimpse at it when it was up, and basically their idea was to dress up like they just robbed a bank and prank, if you can call it a prank, random people on the street with their bank robber act. So they were just acting like they robbed a bank and they were going up and messing around, making people think that they were bank robbers. None of it's really groundbreaking, but I mean, who doesn't want their walk to work to be interrupted by two random YouTubers running up to you with a camera while they're dressed as criminals? Seriously, I'm not sure how anybody thought this prank was real, but someone evidently did. Hey guys, MattyO here, just jumping in to tell you that I know that most of you aren't subscribed. That's right, most of the people watching this video, you're not subscribed. I'm talking to you. Yeah, you. I'm just kidding, but as a growing creator, the likes and subscriptions on videos are the best way for me to tell that I'm doing well. So it would really mean a lot to me if you would subscribe and like the video. Maybe even drop a comment down below if you're up for it. Talk to me about anything. Anyway, thank you so much for subscribing. Let's get back to the video. Now that means that these guys probably deserve an Oscar or something. Somebody believed their prank enough to actually call the police. And according to the police/district attorney, they ordered an Uber. The Uber driver turned up, realized that these two sketchy guys were up to no good, and was refusing to give them a ride, on account of him thinking that, you know, maybe they're bank robbers. Who could have guessed that was gonna happen? Some other dude that was watching from the sidelines thought they were trying to carjack the poor Uber driver. So I'm guessing that they weren't ready to refuse the ride either. Not sure who exactly ended up calling the police, but somebody did, and they were met with some pretty heavy police presence. You know, like you'd expect when there are people who seem to have robbed a bank and look like they're trying to carjack somebody. When the cops did show up, the twins tried to explain that it was just a prank, bro. But that's not a real excuse in the real world. It might pass for your 10-year-old subscribers, but Big Officer Ricardo, he ain't having none of that. Apparently there were more than 12 cops that had been dispatched to the scene for their prank, which means they potentially took the police resources away from other crime scenes that might have needed officers. But they were kind of lower priority than the two guys who look like they might be carjacking an Uber driver. To top all of it off, the poor Uber driver even got taken out of his car because the cops at first thought he might have had something to do with it, only to be released once they found out he was just a victim. But imagine being that poor guy. Like, you're just clocking in a couple rides to end the day on your Uber so you can have some pocket money for the weekend, when bam, you pull up to these two guys straight out of Ocean's 11 and they're filming you. They seem super sketchy, so you try to deny them the ride. That's when the cops pull up, surround you, pull you out of the car, and detain you for a few minutes. And that whole time, you're just thinking to yourself that you should have finished college and not moved to LA to become an actor. I mean, this wouldn't have happened if you got that math degree. But after several minutes, agonizing minutes, just when you think that you're going to be arrested because two idiots decided to dress up like bank robbers and harass you, they finally realized that you were just trying to do your job as an Uber driver and you have no idea who these guys are. Finally, they release you. But as you leave to go home, you realize all the mistakes you've made in your life. Poor guy. Poor Uber driver. He didn't deserve this. I'll tell you what I do think is deserved though, and that's the charges that the Stokes twins are facing for their prank. If you can call it a prank. The DA certainly couldn't when he said said, "These were not pranks. These are crimes that could have resulted in someone getting seriously injured or even killed, and that the whole thing was a twisted attempt to gain more popularity on the internet that endangered public and police." I'd have to be inclined to agree with him. It's one thing to do dumb pranks in your house where people have agreed to it, but to involve random people on the side of the road, people who don't know that it's a prank, people who don't want a camera shoved in their face because you just have to get some views. That's messed up. Don't involve other people in your insanity. That goes for everybody, even you listening. Just leave everybody alone, okay? The twins were each charged with one felony count of false imprisonment, effected by violence, menace, fraud, or deceit, as well as one misdemeanor count of falsely reporting an emergency. Which, I guess they're gonna learn their lesson, and they're gonna learn it quick. I mean, imagine going to prison and the other inmates are trying to figure out why you're in there with them to make sure you're not some kind of sicko, and you have to tell them that you got put in prison because you did a YouTube bank robbery prank video. Imagine having to say that to actual bank robbers in actual prison. You get laughed out of the yard. It's not gonna be a fun time for these twins if they do in fact get convicted, that's for sure. And if you think that the charges are a little much for the prank video, let me read you what an officer said on the matter. "This is what is going to get someone potentially hurt. We have people stopping in the middle of the street because they're watching this. Guys pulling off ski masks, throwing stuff on the ground, and changing clothes," one officer said. "Think about what's going on nowadays. Really think about it. You gotta be smarter than that. You know better," said another officer. "You're absolutely lucky you didn't get guns drawn on you." Honestly, I think they said it all. In conclusion, I think we all know what they did was stupid. I mean, most prank channels are stupid, but most prank channels are fun stupid, not dangerous stupid. It's one thing to be in a prank war with your girlfriend and hide some water on the door to have it fall on her as she walks through it. Heck, it'd be different if they had done this exact same prank only to people they know and who had agreed to being pranked on private property. But once you're in public, once you start infringing on other people's rights, ruining other people's days, and making other people scared, that's a different ballgame, buckaroo. It's a bad idea, not only because you're opening yourself up to having the cops called on you, but because you're putting yourself and others into danger. Any one of the people they went up to and bothered could have been the wrong guy. They could have gotten clocked right off the bat. They're lucky the cops didn't show up guns blazing. They're lucky somebody actually called the cops instead of taking the law into their own hands. I mean, it's just such an incredibly ridiculously dangerous thing to do. Such an unbelievably dumb step to take. I just can't believe it. I mean, I guess that's what happens when you live the influencer life for too long. You end up thinking that you're untouchable, but nobody is untouchable. I don't care who you are. We have a saying where I come from, a good saying. It's, if you play stupid games, you're gonna win stupid prizes. And I think the Stokes Twins have definitely won their stupid prize. Anyway guys, that's all I have for today. I want to take this time to thank you all for watching, especially because you made it all the way to the end. If you watched this far, then you're a real one. Most people don't hang out this long, so tell me down below what you think about this situation, and let me know what the best prank you ever pulled was. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Have a great day, and God bless you.